Hi guys, this is Lore at Lore Stitches. That's what my mom used to call me, which is why I named my channel this. Anyway, this is Lori at Lore Stitches on Instagram and on YouTube. You can see I got a new intro montage. No, it's not really. A little intro clip. Sure. So that was fun to do. Anyway, I'm dressed a little crazy today because we're getting ready to paint. So I wanted to keep my hair's, I chopped it all off. It used to be really long. And it's not quite long enough to put into a ponytail yet. So I'm just trying to get it out of the way. In this ugly color, especially on me, it does not go with my skin tone. But anyway, we're going to be painting my craft room, my new craft room downstairs. So I talked about that in the first video, how we had laid some flooring and did a lot of painting and everything last winter upstairs, and we have a fully finished basement, and we had this big storage room that was like storing a bunch of crap, and really we could have organized that and put it elsewhere, so we did. And then last weekend we ripped up the carpet and we pulled down the drop down ceiling, and so today we're going to paint that room. And I bought this color called Mysterious Mauve. It sounds so mysterious. I don't know. Anyway, it's a gray, but it's got a hint of lavender to it, is what I would call it, I guess. We'll see how it looks on the walls, but it was more closer to the gray side than a purple side. And you know me, I love purple, so I wanted it represented, but I also wanted a neutral so I could decorate the rest of the room in whatever else I needed to do that in. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, let me know. I have documented what my craft room looks like currently, which, let me be honest, is a total mess. I mean, if you could see, I mean, you can see back here what's going on, right? I'm kitting up things and that gets messy. And I got that pip and chip, and I'm still in the process of putting that together. That box is probably where you saw it last time, to be honest, because I haven't done that yet. So, but these size boxes go in the Calyx bookcases from IKEA, and we do have an IKEA that's about an hour and a half away, so I think I might get some of the Calyx IKEA bookcases to put those in, make it a little bit more organized. I used to bobbinate, and I don't anymore because I would spend my whole time bobbinating and then I'd be tired of doing it, so I wouldn't stitch. So now I like the easy method where I can just undo the skein and stick it on here. And this comes with a hole in the side where you can use one of those clips and clip your colors together. And then there's another little hole here where I can put my used threads there so they get used first. The only thing I don't like about these is you can only get like maybe 2 skeins on there comfortably. You can see it already is taking up most of this hole here. I suppose I could do it this way or this way if I wanted, but anyway, so I put my extra skeins in the bottom of the bucket. There's a hole here, so I put them all in there. Anyway, so I like this system. I used to have them in the photo boxes in baggies, but I like this idea better because I could just pull it right out and just put it on a ring and go. So more stitching time. That's my goal. Anyway, so I've looked at those, and then I've looked at like the Billy bookcases for my actual books, because I love to read. And you can't see, but there's a little tiny, it's like this little craft thing here, this white thing, but it's black and it's got more shelves on it and it's full of books. And then I have a couple of bookshelves in my bedroom that I would probably move all to one area and maybe just have a nice comfy chair so I could sit down there and read or just look at my books, because kind of like cross stitching, collecting books is a hobby in and of itself. You know, collecting all the things in cross stitch is a hobby in and of itself, right? So anyway, so we're gonna be painting today. That's why I'm wearing this and look like garbage. So let's see. I brought in here a whole bunch of things to show you that are framed and finished. However, they look terrible on video because of the ring light that I have and the other light that I have. and all the lights. So I don't know how to show them very well. I can show some of the smaller things. Like you can see up here, there's a few things up here that I've done. And then I got into these Pine Mountain designs. They come with the little pillows. But they come with all of this stuff already attached, and you just stitch this part and then you tuck the pillow right in here and tie it shut. It's awesome. And I love Halloween. So this sits in our living room, but it's black and we have 6 golden retrievers and it gets really dusty and gross. And I had to really dust it off before I brought it in here. And then this is another one of the Pine Mountain designs. I don't even know if they're still around. I haven't looked for them lately, but I got a kick where they were super easy to stitch up and finish. So I love them. This one says stitching is my cup of tea, and I drink tea. I do not drink coffee. So we have a little coffee and tea bar we made last year when we redid our upstairs flooring. And so I have this sitting on the shelf up there. So, and then another one, Pine Mountain Designs. The best things in life aren't things. I think I gave this to my mom, if I remember right. And then when she passed away, I got it back. So, and then this is another thing I did for my mom. She had breast cancer when she was 45. So I stitched this for her. This is an Ink Circles design. It was a freebie on their website a long time ago. I don't know if it's still there or not, but I fully finished the back, the sides with the little pins. And then I got this one back too when she passed away. So, in fact, there are a lot of things I got back when people passed away. I had done a couple of angels for my grandma because she loved angels. And my aunt wanted to keep one of the angels that's sitting back here underneath my little Ravenclaw bear. I pulled it out of the frame because it was one that I had done, gosh, 20 years ago or so. And I shoved it into a frame and gave it to her, but the frame does not fit the piece. Like the frame covers up some of the stitching even. So I'm gonna try to have it reframed. So I have it pulled apart in the back there, but it was an old Dimensions Chart and Charms angel. It is this. So it's so old that I used to masking tape my edges, which I don't do any longer. But you can see this is how it was put around the backboard, and then the frame went over some of these things. So I'm gonna have it reframed. I'm gonna iron it up, wash it, because I feel like it looks a little dirty, but I mean the color is the color it is. So it's a beige color. So anyway, so I did that years. This is probably the oldest finished piece I own. But my aunt tried to swipe it, and I said, I would really like to have that. I just don't want it to end up in Goodwill. You know how cross-stitch stuff ends up in Goodwill, and I hate that. And whenever I see one, I try to rescue it and like give it to somebody that I know will like it if I don't have space for it. So yeah, anyway, another one that I got back. So there's another angel piece I have that's hanging in my kitchen above my doorway, and I can't get it down real fast because it's too tall for me to just grab off the wall. My grandma passed away in October of 2019. My grandpa, her husband, passed away in May of 2020. And this is a piece I did for him. This was hanging in their home. There was a picture of him when he was enlisted in the Marines. It's super cute. He was like 17. So he's got a baby face in the photo. And then my mom had, I think, a flag flown for him over the Capitol and had a certificate of authenticity. It was all in the same area that my grandma had on the wall. And then once my grandma died, we moved him into an assisted living. He was 94 and he was sharp as a tack still. Like you couldn't get anything by that man. But he just kind of, after grandma passed, he just didn't want to be here anymore. I mean, literally, I think that's what he told my aunt. So it's pretty sad. But he hung this outside of his door at the assisted living facility. And then he just started declining. I just don't think he wanted to be here without her. And he went to the hospital, went into hospice, and then we brought him home to my aunt's house because it was COVID and you couldn't go visit people in the hospital. So luckily, she was able to take care of him. So we all got to just be around him during his last days, and that was great. So anyway, I got to keep this once he passed away. And then my other grandfather passed away in March of 2021 from COVID. And I made him a similar piece, but it's from Glendon Place, and he was in the Navy. So his is, he lived down in Florida with my aunt down there. And when he passed away, my uncle, who lives like a little over an hour away from me, went down for the funeral, and he brought that back to me because my aunt asked me if I wanted to have it back, and I did. So I have in my dining room a buffet table that I have a lot of memorabilia on from the people who've passed away. And so I have this one in particular hanging above there. And that way I kind of have a place to remember people. You know, my grandma, October 2019, my grandpa, May 2020, my mom, July 2020, my cousin, December 2020, and my other grandpa, March 2021. So when I said in the first video that it was a bad couple of years, it was a bad couple of years. It really was. And none of it was expected. So it was not good. But anyway, I'm still not sure how to show all of these framed pieces because the glare is bad. It's just bad. I don't know if, like, maybe it'll be really dark in here. I'm gonna turn off some lights and see. We'll see how this goes. So, it's very reflective. Well, I hate that. But this is Trick or Treat Fairy by Nora Corbett. It was framed by Jill Rensel. You can see they painted on the mat. Oh, it is so reflective. Where is a better place? There's no place that's good. When we lived in South Dakota, when my husband was stationed out there, I submitted some of these things to the fair, so you'll see that some of them have some ribbons on them. But yeah. That's the problem with these, huh? That's why I was having trouble figuring out how to show them. Here's a smaller one. We can maybe try this one. This is L by Nora Corbett. It went to the fair too. It's stitched on one of my fabrics. That one is also stitched on one of my fabrics. This one was just framed at, like, gosh, it was in South Dakota, so had to have been like a Michael's or Joann's or something like that out there. So there's that. Then I have, all my stuff falling apart back here is what I have. My Poof Hat. I'm pretty sure this is done by Imaginating. This is also framed at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. It's on cashel linen. It's one of my fabrics. It's on opalescent. It's got, the spider is beaded, but that's it. So, and then I have the piece that totally got me into dyeing fabric. Oh, let me show you first. This is a little kit I got. Where is it there? You can even see the date on there, 2004. I don't usually put my initials on my pieces. But that was after my husband and I got married. We got married in 2004 and I wanted to stitch again. And so I picked up that little kit. And then I found the amazing fantasy pieces they had, and I picked up this. This is Passione Ricamo. This is Moon Fairy Spirit. And when I got this pattern, I knew that there was a big old moon behind her. Oh, this is terrible for reflection. I'm so sorry. And I wanted a fabric that looked like a stormy sky. That's exactly what I wanted, a stormy sky. And I wanted it nighttime because of the moon. And I didn't want black. So my husband suggested that I try my own. So I researched, and I did. And this is not a RIT dye. This is a professional fabric dye. And that's when Enchanted Fabric started. This was my very first color. It was called Stormy Night Flare. And that's what started it. And then I entered it into the fair when I got done, and I won Best in Show and Best in Class, and yep. So this was also framed by Jill Rensel. You can see they painted the mat up here, down at the bottom as well, on the sides. So then I have, this is an ink circles. This is also framed by Jill Rensel. This is called Blackstone Fantasy Garden, and it's done in the called for colors. And it's hard to tell here, but there's these little paintings of flowers and all these little divots all over. So this one hangs in my entryway when you walk in. Moon Fairy Spirit. Trick or Treat hangs in my dining room. Moon Fairy Spirit hangs in the hallway. It hangs right across from this one, which is Glendon Place. Grimm, Glum, and Gloom. Grimm, Glum, and Gloom. All these are on my fabrics, by the way. Has some beads on it. This was framed at Hobby Lobby, and I never took this one to the fair. So, and then, do I have them all? I think I have them all. In 2020, when WIPGO finished, I had finished I got two WIPGOs, or bingos, like all the way, black all the way across 2 ways. And so I decided that if I had finished one of those, that I was going to send it off to Rensel Studios for framing some finished pieces. And so I sent off my Passione Ricamo Summer Fairy Spirit. This is also on my fabric. So I got this one back in 2021 because I sent it after I finished bingo. I think it was 2020 that maybe it was 2019. I can't remember if she's been playing that long, or if she's been doing it on the Facebook group that long. But anyway, so it's got some beading on it, really pretty. And then this painting that she did in this corner that matches the leaves here. Super cool. So, and that's that one. So this is Skeleton Crew. Dang it. I don't think there's going to be any way that looks decent. This is by Cross-Eyed Cricket, the Cricket collection. The ghosts are done in glow-in-the-dark threads. And this is also done by Rensel Studios. Look at this frame. Skull and crossbones. You couldn't get more perfect than that. They painted a little bit around the ghosts and stuff, but that's matting that's cut out. I painted a little fish, I think, at the bottom that matches. So this is my husband's favorite piece. It hangs across from our kitchen. And then I do have some that are not finished. They're just hanging in my closet here. And then there's that other angel piece I can attach sometime later. This is the other angel piece that I stitched for my grandma that hangs above my kitchen doorway. So you can see my Skeleton Crew is here. Moon Fairy Spirit. Grimm, Glum, and Gloom. That's my craft room. Don't look at the dust in here. This is usually the table where all of our memorabilia stuff sits, the buffet table, but we had our nativity scene set up there for Christmas, so I gotta pull it all back out. Trick or Treat. There's this little one. My ink circles, because this is the doorway. And then my Ooh, sorry about that. Summer Fairy Spirit. This pillow. Pillows. Get lights back on just so everybody can see. So, let's see. Let me start going through my WIPs for the last couple of weeks. I have been working on the Fandom Stitching Central, the Lord of the Rings prompts. So we've now completed weeks 3 and 4. Today is Sunday, January 29th. So I already have my weekly prompts done. They end tonight at midnight, but I already have my weekly prompts done, and I am starting to work on the monthly prompts because February 1st is coming up hot. So here we go. Some of the prompts that I did, let me first show you a picture of, this is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This is what it looks like. Sorry for the glare in the bag. I'm on block number 2 here. So I will show you a before picture here. And here is where I am now. So I got quite a bit done. Got this whole hill with some gravestones in it, and this tree I'm working on. So there's another half of the tree that comes up from over here. And there's crows that sit in the branches. I forget what's on this side. I could look at the picture, but anyway. So I got several hundred stitches into this in the last couple of weeks. So my WIPGO goal for this has not been called yet, but it is to finish this whole entire block. And that is a lot of stitches. Like, normally on a big piece, I'll pick 1,000 stitches, and this is well over 1,000 stitches in this block, so I don't even know what I was thinking. Again, this underestimating things. It's what I do. It's what I do best. So, yeah, anything I can do to grab this one and do it, it'll get me closer to my WIP goal in the end, because otherwise I'm not gonna make it. Just not gonna make it. So that's where that one is. My next one is Glendon Place, Murky Manor. So that's what that looks like. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying to not get it glare. I will show you what it looked like before here. And this is what it looks like now. It's my fabric again. Before I had like only part of this column done, so I finished that column done. I got everything around this door completed, and I started to work over here on this window. And I have this orange thread hanging out because I miscounted on this brown down here. So I'm gonna have to yank that out. It's one more stitch down. The orange is in the right place, so I left that thread hanging, but I'm just gonna have to frog this a little bit right here and move it down just a little. So my WIPGO goal on this is 1,000 stitches. I can't remember how many I got on this done. I don't have my digital planner. I am obviously not prepared, since I was gonna go paint and was like, I'll just do this Flosstube video real quick. So it was over 400 stitches that I did on this. It might have been more. So anyway, there's that one. And then our WIPGO goals, let's see. This was number 6. So this is Halloween Sampler by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm gonna insert a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is what it looks like now. So my WIPGO goal was to complete E, F, and G. And by the way, the last video I called E, eek the whole time, and it was really eerie. So on the last one I had frogged out the abra, and I had all of abra done except for I think this part of the A that went way down. I can't remember exactly, but part of the A was not done. And Dracula is still off. It's too close to the A, so I've got to yank it out and move it over. I think 1 stitch is all I got to do. So what I did was I went down from the R in Abracadabra, and I did Eerie so that it's in the right place, then Frankenstein's in the right place, and then I counted from the A down to Goblins. When I'm looking at this in the screen here, it looks like it says Gobloins because I'm looking at it backwards. Oh boy. Anyway, so this was WIPGO goal number 6, and it is completed. So technically, I don't have to look at this thing again all year long. Now, I might pull it out again around Halloween and stitch on it. Maybe I'll pull out the Dracula and be a good girl and redo that. It really doesn't take long. It's just, I'm still mad at it. I am still mad at it, and that's all there is to it. My other WIPGO was WIPGO number 10, and that was July's Amethyst Fairy. And I'm going to show you a picture of what it looked like last time. And now I'm going to show you what I have done. So her goal was 1,000 stitches, and I did 1,074. And when I stitch on this, there's a lot of mess going on here. Last time I had dusted and this was all dirty, and I was able to wash it, and I think it looks better. I'm hoping it looks better. It looks better today than it did when I filmed this last time when it looked dirty, but you might still be able to see some of it, so I might have to wash it again. But at least I know that the fabric color is not going to totally come out of it, because there was some dust on the side too. But anyway. So, it's hard because some of this is white, so it's hard to see all the stitching, but that is 1,000 stitches completed on her, and that goal is done. And then on January 25th, I think on the 25th, she calls WIPGO for the next month. So she called, oh, sorry, I have another one. I have one I've been working on called the Night's Watch Oath from Lolita Made on Etsy. I don't know if she sells this anymore. I'm gonna insert a picture here of what it looked like last time. And here is where I am currently. You can't see all the words because, but I'm working on the eagle's feather. One of the monthly, I finished all the weekly stitching, but one of the monthly is to stitch on something with white thread. And so I'm stitching this eagle, and I'm about 100 stitches in. I gotta do, I think it's like 94 or something. So I gotta do 106 more stitches, and then that I'll get 2 points for that. So, but this is, this has more stitching on than what it had last time. So technically I worked on that. And then, like I said, on WIPGO, she called the next numbers, and she called 7 and 11. So 6 and 10, and now 7 and 11. And you know what? None of these have been full coverage, and those are the ones I struggle with the most. And I'm probably gonna get 2 full coverages at the same time, and I'm gonna have to crank out 2,000 stitches on them or something. So it's gonna be insane. Insane in the membrane. Anyway, so what she called this time, and I have not worked on this, was Bluebeard's Princess. So this is where I am on that one. And I think my goal is to complete that tail fan. You can just see her chest. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this 1 over 1. It is a long line of stitching, let me tell you. But my goal is to do this tail fan over here. So that'll be more fun. So I have not touched that yet, but that is one of the goals this month. And then one of the other goals, I can't remember which one is which, but first word's incoming. This is one of my WIPGO goals that got called. So this is a quote from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Let me first insert what it looked like last time, because that helps, right? And then this is what it looks like now. So my WIPGO goal for this is to complete, and when Santa squeezes his fat white, and then that'll be the WIPGO goal done. So I'm working on the Q, and then the S is big and swirly, and then the other one is little, and it's just right across here. So hopefully that won't take too long. But I have these, like, I decided that when she calls my WIPGO goals, I'm immediately yanking these two projects out and setting them up here on my table. I'm gonna find a better system for this when I move downstairs, so that I know if any goal for like Lord of the Rings or Semi-Sane or whatever meets those prompts, I'm gonna grab those first and get them done because they've been called that month. So that's my plan. There are some monthly stitching goals, like for every 100 stitches you do on a stitch along, you get, is it 10? It can't be 10 points. It's 1 point, I think, for a max of 10. And so this is Dark Queen of the Sea, which I only have one part done. And I think I will probably see if I can do some of that in the next couple of days. And then there's one goal that is stitch on something with an instrument. And my, why is it not in here? Where did it go? My steampunk bride has a violin. I'm gonna see if I can insert a picture here of what it looks like when it's done. So I've got that pulled to see if I can get any on that. And then I don't have it pulled, but my Atlantis by Owl Forest Embroidery has a yellow house on the bottom, and there's like do 400 stitches in yellow. So I kind of have that in mind for yellow. There's also one that like makes you think of your cousin, which I don't know what to do with that. And then there's one that's like 1,937 stitches because The Hobbit was written in 1937. I'm not sure if I'll get to that. I've got to finish listening to the audiobook. I'm well over halfway done with it. And then I can't, oh, there's one that starts with a B. And I think I only have one project that starts with a B. And right off the top of my head, I can't even think of what it is. B. Nope. I don't know. So anyway, that's where I am for now. So next time I will probably do a WIP update like usual. I have some unfinished pieces that we can go through. And then I thought one time we might just do like a big old stash dive, because who doesn't love those, right? I have all these binders, these blank binders here and down here are just full of projects. Cause I'm a collector. I got the Sable going on, the stash acquisition beyond life expectancy. So I just need to start all things. That's what needs to happen, right? Because the joy you get from starting things, like I get excited when I think about starting things. So, but then I just want them done. So I don't know where you get between I want to start it and I want them done. You know, there's all that time in there, because I don't pick these small projects, guys. I pick these huge projects, and that's what kills me. But at the same time, I get so much enjoyment out of it, right? So I just need to enjoy the process, because that's all there is to it. So anyway, I think that's it for today. So thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. I loved all the comments that you guys have left. I have responded to everybody's comments. I really enjoyed the welcome that I'm getting, and people that have had things in common, and I've seen some new YouTube videos from people that have left comments, so I'm really enjoying that as well. I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you'd like. If you want to see our process of the craft room overhaul, let me know, and I will document that as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, Stitchy friends, and have a great day.